December 1776 was a desperate time for George Washington and the American Revolution. Washington's ragtag Continental Army had been forced to retreat to the Pennsylvania shore of the Delaware River. In the preceding months, British and German Hessian troops invaded Long Island, rooting out the colonial forces, forcing a desperate escape to the island of Manhattan. The British then attacked Manhattan, forcing the Americans to retreat again, this time across the Hudson River to New Jersey. The British, in hot pursuit, chased the Americans through New Jersey and by December had forced the Continental Army to abandon the state and cross the Delaware into Pennsylvania. With New Jersey in their firm control and Rhode Island successfully occupied, the British were confident that the Revolution had been crushed. On that riverbank sat Washington at a crossroads. His troops had suffered months of humiliating defeats. Exhausted, demoralized, and uncertain of their future, they were now trying to survive a cold winter with little food, artillery, or supplies. To compound Washington's problems, many of his men were also at the end of their enlistment terms. With their spirits low, Washington knew that few, if any, would choose to stay on for another year. Support for the Revolutionary War was also waning in every corner, as well as even patriots like Thomas Jefferson were considering the possibility of surrender. Washington knew he had to do something brazen and something quickly. He decided to make a bold move, a decision that was to get off their heels and instead attack the British head on, but in a surprise attack on Christmas night. The target was the Hessian-held town of Trenton, New Jersey, just across the Delaware River. On December 25th, Christmas night, Washington led his troops across the ice-choked Delaware River about 9 miles north of Trenton. The weather was so horrendous and the ice-clogged river so treacherous, raging winds combined with snow, sleet, and rain produced almost impossible conditions. One soldier recorded that it blew a perfect hurricane as snow and sleet lashed into Washington's army. Washington's plan of attack included 3 different battalions crossing the Delaware River on Christmas night, but only one of the 3 crossings made it, and even that one was 3 hours delayed. To add to the difficulties, a significant number of Washington's forces had to march through the snow without shoes. At approximately 8 a.m. on the morning of December 26, Washington's remaining force, separated into 2 columns, reached the outskirts of Trenton and descended upon the unsuspecting Hessians. Trenton's 1,400 Hessian defenders were groggy from the previous evening's festivities and underestimated the Patriot threat after months of decisive British victories throughout New York. Washington's men quickly overwhelmed the Hessian defenses, and by 9:30 a.m. the town was surrounded. Although several hundred Hessians escaped, nearly 1,000 were captured at the cost of only 4 American lives. What is interesting is the victory was not particularly significant from a strategic point of view, but news of Washington's audacious action and subsequent victory raised the spirits of the American colonists who previously feared the Continental Army was incapable of victory. This is said to be one of the most significant turning points in the American Revolution. Who knows? If Washington had not had the audacity to make this bold move, maybe we'd all be eating blood sausage and spotted dick today. A couple of lessons to take with you today from Washington's example. Number 1, confidence often matters more than talent and experience. Even a ragtag team can win if they believe they can. But without confidence, without hope, all can be lost. Washington knew what he needed more than anything was to reboot the confidence of his army and regenerate support for the revolution. For as insignificant as the victory might have been strategically at the time, Washington knew that he needed to make a bold move to restore belief and confidence in his troops and hope and support for the revolution. So, my fellow friends, as you lead your teams, as you lead your family, as you lead your community, be as concerned about managing the belief and confidence of your troops as much as strategies, task completion, and getting things done. If confidence is lost, so is the cause. And number 2, if you're going to attack, don't do what everybody else does. Don't do what everybody else expects. Go do something bold, something so hard, so challenging, so unexpected that no one will see it coming. In other words, go big or stay home. Think about it. What's a bold move that you can make to capture that dream client that you've always wanted? What's a bold move to capture the heart of that sweetheart that you've always wanted? What's a bold move to recapture the heart of your significant other? What's a bold move to rekindle an important friendship? What's a bold move to win the attention of a boss, a client, or a joint venture partner? How can Washington's bold move to save the revolution and thus the founding of the United States of America inspire you to make a bold move in your own life today? Don't we at least owe him that? So jot down your ideas in your Darren Daily Journal and share with us what bold move are you going to take today? And tell us about it in the comments below.